Hey, what's going on at Roar Sports Media? I'm your boy Rory, and this is my co-host Jordan. And today we're gonna get into some SFB talk and some NFL Week 10 talk this prior week because there's been a lot of good games, and we're gonna get into that. Jordan, I know we missed a past I think a week or so, but busy lives.
Busy
So and
lives, yes. Busy wives.
yeah, that's just how it goes, man. So we'll just get into some of the college games first, and then we'll go into that. And dude, what do you want to start off with, like games wise? I think.
I'm. Oh, I was gonna go with Cincinnati. My
Yeah.
gosh, I mean, I know it was East Carolina, but
Mm-hmm.
this is Cincinnati.
They look
That's
good.
exactly how, as an elite team that we're saying they are. That's how you
Mm-hmm.
beat a team you're supposed to beat. You don't beat them by like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
A 1-win team, and
Yeah. You,
maybe have
you
them in it.
dominate
No,
them.
you crush them. Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's they're a
points up.
very well ran team right now, dude. Like I'm extremely impressed with how they're going.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, they definitely they belong in the top 10 from what I'm seeing on the field. Yeah, you're right. It is Eastern Carolina, but still, they look like a well-oiled machine for sure.
It looks like, a lot of teams, when you play teams like East Carolina, it's to work out kinks. It's to work out, oh, how can we do better? Are we switching offensive linemen around? They didn't even need that. That's your warm-up team for most of the Power 5 conferences is East Carolina. That's
Oh,
your
for sure,
first,
dude.
your second, some teams' second, third game. That's for you to get all your stuff out. But no, I mean, 7 in the first quarter. Not basically won the game in the second quarter with 28 points.
28 points, dude. Like that's insane, man. Like they
And
just
then,
they just dominated.
gosh, just on all levels. Like that guy, their quarterback Ritter,
Yeah, Desmond Ritter, fucking 24 for 31,
man.
327 yards and 3 TDs, dude. That's excellent, dude.
I'm
Oh my
telling you
god.
right now, the combine, the NFL scouts, they've got their eyes on him. They truly
Yeah.
do. I mean, he's a junior right now. He's probably going to elect to get drafted. I mean, he's playing really good football. What he needs to do and what Cincy needs to do, they gotta play a good football team. If they go into their
Yeah.
bowl and you're playing like Georgia and he goes out, you don't necessarily have to beat Georgia,
Just
but
look
it would
good.
be
Just
nice.
look good.
Just look good.
Because
Tear it up.
clearly
300.
the Georgia had the top recruiting class like two no like two out of like last 4 years. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna out talent like dude. Georgia's just gonna out talent most teams. But Cincinnati is a very well ran team right now, man. The
Yes.
Bearcats are looking good. And Desmond Ryder also had 8 carries for 75 yards. So he has some wheels too. He can move.
Mm-hmm. And a
Let's see,
TD.
Trey.
So he's throwing
Mhm.
3 and he's throwing it. He's ran a TD. He's a machine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trey Tucker and Michael Young, 4 receptions and 3 receptions, both around 60 yards, and both had a tutty, dude. Like they just have a good, well balanced team from what I can see. Rushing wise, Cameron
And
Young, or sorry, Gary Dokes, 13
Dokes.
carries, 2 yards, nothing crazy, but like they have a stable. I mean, it's very apparent that
Well
they
rounded.
have a good team.
And
Yeah.
what I also like about Ritter is you can tell certain quarterbacks how they are. They need that star wide receiver. They need someone to
Mhm.
go to every time. And I've looked in his pass game. He spreads it. He spreads it
Mhm.
around, which that's another key thing. The NFL doesn't want you to just hope for, hey, I need the #1 draft pick to win a
The
football
basic,
game.
yeah.
Well,
Basically, Matt Stafford throwing it up to Megatron, every play.
exactly.
So
No,
yeah,
he can hit anybody.
yeah. So I think that's why I think make Joe Burrow a good quarterback whenever he's not playing the Steelers or the Ravens. He just spreads the ball so well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just this guy looks like he's one of those type of quarterbacks where he's not reliant on one receiver, but he can spread it out and move with his legs. So Ritter's are definitely like. For me right now, he's still like a like a second round, third round pick quarterback. He's like not necessarily like my franchise guy, but for sure, if I need a backup to come in, like I could get him off the bench for sure.
Hey, nobody says you can't find gold in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
And
there's a lot of quarterbacks that have come out of the second, third, fourth round or a walk on for some people.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Dak Prescott was a fourth round. Tony Romo was a walk on. Yeah, yep. He's probably your biggest walk on sensation right there. And yep. So let's Jerry, by the way. That's why he didn't win a Super Bowl. We all know it. It was Jerry.
So let's get on to the Miami Hurricanes versus Georgia Tech. Dude, I can't believe the Hurricanes came down to the last minute with Virginia Tech, man. That's insane.
It's just strange. Talent won that game. Talent won out.
Yeah.
And barely. Just barely.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, Derek King didn't have a bad game. 24-38, not horrible. 255 yards, 1 TD. Man, all these apostrophes in his names, dude. Cameron Harris, 14 carries, 63 yards. Nothing crazy. Dequarius Wiggins, 8 receptions, 106 yards. I mean, not bad. Like, it's clearly the Hurricanes were not like playing the best to their ability, you know.
And I mean, not to say that it's not like Virginia Tech, East Carolina. They're not a 1-16 team.
They're not one of those teams.
They're a good team, but if anything, that's a game that you're thankful you won because you could have lost, and then you run it over and over and over again, because I think there would probably – I didn't catch a lot of Miami's game, but when a game's that close with a superior team and talent like Miami, mistakes on Miami, and I bet that's what kept them in the game, like penalties, dumb plays, trying to overdo your assignment. It's usually the tail of the tapes right there.
And it looks like Virginia Tech also like kept the ground game going, man. Like they had – 3 players rush for almost 200 yards together. Like not terrible, man. Receivers are spread around pretty good. Trey Turner, Travion Robinson, both receptions, 186 yards, 42 yards. I mean, they spread the ball around like they're playing a very well balanced way of football. So I mean, like
I tell you what it was. Look at their defense. Look at that defense on the day. That is 5 sacks on the day. 5 sacks. There it is, right there. 5 sacks. They were all over King.
No
5 sacks is that's a bad day. That's you running all around. And then
Gerard
let's see.
Had a look 2.5 sacks, man. That's damn good day.
Yeah, like that's what it was. Offenses played okay. Even Miami's defense went off. They had 6 sacks.
Yeah.
6 sacks and 1 pick.
Gilbert Ferris on 2 sacks. Jalen Phillips 2.5. Sam Brooks 1 sack. I mean, dude, like defense definitely was king in this game, and like that shows because clearly the offenses were like decent at best. So like the defense is what showed out in this game, and that I like to see a defensive game every now and then. That's pretty nice to see.
Oh, of course.
I'm a defensive guy myself. I like seeing sacks.
Oh yeah, me. You know me, man. I was an offensive lineman, so I like to see really good trench game.
Pancakes, dude.
Pancakes.
They're good. Serving it up.
Dude, who was it? Quentin Nelson. Fun fact about that Scream little video. Apparently, that actually isn't him. He commented on that. Yeah. That wasn't him screaming. They actually edited that in. But I was like, why did you even say anything, man? That makes that video. It's so cool.
Yeah. So let's get to USC Arizona, man. Like that was also a pretty close game too. 34-30. And like, what is up with USC? Like to be even like close with Arizona Wildcats, it's like this is supposed to be one of those, those foundation pieces in the NCAA. Like it's usually USC, Alabama, Ohio State. Like it's usually like those, like Texas, clearly, but like I don't understand how they're top 20 if they won 2 games. And like one of them is the Arizona Wildcats. And it was a close game with that, dude.
Well, it's the name alone. It's just what it is. They started late. You're gonna give them their props, but right now, no, I don't think with their wins, who's their let's look at this. They beat Arizona State by 1. So whatever, Arizona's got their number, and like it could have went either way, and they haven't moved. They're going to go against Utah this coming week. Utah's not a bad program. Not bad. They're not good. They were definitely in number 11 last year, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're a good team.
They were a good football team. I think they lost a lot of people, but that's going to be a real test to see if USC's a real number 20 is going against a solid Utah team, which Utah is always a pretty solid team.
Yeah, your boy, Bradley and Niles from Utah, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're defensive end, Islander. So USC, like has these brothers, the Brown brothers. This guy is Amon-Ra St. Brown, dude. Check this. Like, you seen this?
I love these names, man.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I'm down for it. But it's funny because Amicus St. Brown is playing for the Packers right now. So, I mean, definitely in the name battle.
Yes.
So SC. Yes. So quarterback Keenan Slovis, 30 completions, 43 attempts, 325 yards, 1 TD. Not great. Looks like, So it looks like where's rushing? Yeah, rushing. Marquise Stepp, 12 carries, 82 yards. Stephen Carr, 11 carries, 81 yards. So I mean, clearly, I think that they played a very well balanced, game. They had about almost 200 yards rushing, 300 yards throwing the ball. So I mean, nothing crazy,
but nothing special, nothing like they should be in. And I'm even looking at Arizona right now. It's not like they kept it close. There was almost like no defense from Arizona. Yeah. There were plenty of tackles, but no sacks, no picks, nothing on those lines. And I'm looking at, I mean, that's kind of probably the game right there. They had 4 sacks with USC. 4?
Yeah.
Was that 3.5?
USC had 4. They have 4 sacks. But
4 sacks.
You look at the talent of USC, dude. They're all like 4- and 5-star recruits for the most part, man. Like they're pretty well, recruited. So for them to be like even in this conversation of like, like this low on the the AP poll, like it's got to be coaching. It's got to be culture, man. Like
and that's what I've started to notice. I've started to notice that these new recruits coming up, you just expect them to be so good because they're so dominant in high school. And it's like, but they don't develop. They don't go past that senior year, man. that high school level. And I mean, you can name so many football. Michigan. You can name Texas. You can name USC right now because that's what I've seen the last few years. USC's got all the talent. Michigan's got all the talent. Texas has all the talent. Where's their development? Where are their number one their first round draft picks? Those have fallen off. Not for USC, but not all the time for Michigan, but especially for Texas. Texas is not putting out a lot of number one picks anymore, man. And they were with Mac Brown, they had no issue.
Yep.
0.
Well, dude, like Mac Brown's gonna have a few guys come out North Carolina, and probably in the first round, man. They're looking good.
They're a good team and should be undefeated. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, dude. Like you're right. Development's everything, man. Because I guarantee, man, if you put Arkansas with if they played against Michigan or Texas today, like they would give them a run for their money. And Arkansas is nothing but 3 stars and walk-ons, dude. Like. I guarantee, like it would be a really close game, like probably way closer than it should be. If you're going off just a straight up talent perspective.
Oh yeah, well, and let me give you an idea. Michigan wins by a field goal. Texas trails most of the football game, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, they're like, "We're Texas. We should win this game. Let's throw up 21 points in one quarter and win the football game in overtime.
Yeah, like it's kind of sad to see because like I think that a good USC team is good for the CFB. You know, along with Texas, I think a good Texas team is good for the CFB. I think that right now we're really really concentrated on the Southeastern Conference. Like there's one team in the Big Ten that everyone fears, and that's Ohio State. But for the most part, dude, everyone like except for maybe not necessarily the ACC, but there's Clemson and then the SEC, and that's pretty much where college football is at, dude. Like no one's really challenging. I mean, Oklahoma kind of does, but they get to the first round like, oh no, we can't play defense actually, and then
we can't. Our defense can't stop anything. So even though we throw up 40 points, we're gonna let 50.
Yeah,
man, that's basically Oklahoma since Lincoln Riley got there. Like they stopped learning how to play, stopped playing defense. Like I don't know what happened with Big 12 in defense. Because Big 12 used to be they put out quality defensive players. They weren't SEC defensive players, but they were still like you weren't going to get a bad pick out of the Big 12, especially from Oklahoma, Texas.
Exactly. Yeah. And dude, there are so many 4- and 5-star recruits that just go to Texas and Oklahoma that are just I'm not going to say wasted talent, but it's just clearly not being developed to the degree that they could because a lot of them get to the NFL. I'm like, oh, dude, this is coaching? Oh, that's dope. I can actually, learn what coverage is. Or, you know what? This is the proper reasoning to make. Or, hey, these are the gaps that I need to shoot, and this is the proper leverage techniques. Like for some reason. It's insane.
Like Texas has actually had a lot of decommits. They lost Ewers, who was apparently the best prospect that Texas has gotten at quarterback since Vince Young and Colt McCoy. And you know who they are. Like that's Texas royalty right there. And then I think he was like the best quarterback to come out of Texas in 30 years. His dude's a monster. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to decommit, and Ohio State is like my number one choice. Well, yeah, it should be Ewers or whatever, because Justin Fields gone this year, I believe, right? He's a junior, so he's going to be a first or second round pick. First or second pick of the first round.
Yeah, dude. So you've had a 4-star decommit, Faison Wilson, Quentin Ewers. Let's see. Oh, Billy Bowman too, bro. All those are 4- and 5-star recruits, all gone from Texas because they don't believe in the culture. They don't believe in the coaching that they're going to get.
Herman, I believe he's too young to be a head coach. I think he's. It's not like he's younger because plenty of coaches are his age. I believe it's more of a maturity level. And I think he's trying to be, I'm the cool coach. Blah, 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 and it just doesn't work. He was getting into fights with his players at Houston. What was that big what was his name? It was when they were ranked 9.
Ed Oliver.
I have never seen a player do that to a football coach. Just shove him and basically what was coming out of his mouth. Never.
Because he was, to be honest, Ed was on the sidelines with a hoodie on, wasn't he? Something like that. Yeah. It was something crazy. Bro, what are you doing? We're in the middle of a game. I don't know. So, to be honest, man, the coach that tries to be too cool, I had one in high school. His name was Brooks. I don't want to talk about it, but he was a guy who was trying to be too cool. And basically it was a facade, and we ended up going from being not state champs, but at least conference champs to the worst in our division because this guy came in and was like, you know what, we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you all these slogans, I'm gonna do all this stuff, and I'm gonna do pretty basically turn us into a team that was really really good foundations into this flashy whatever the hell that had no consistency. So that's what I think that's happened to Texas is you guys are all the flash but none of the grit, I guess.
you put out, let's see, a $25 million extension, I believe, on your stadium. There's really no need. You got, what was it? I think I think it might be 2.5 at the lowest. It might be over 5 million on brand new lockers. Whole new lockers. Like, what do you need new lockers for? Like, dude, you're a football team. Quit being prima donnas, man, and actually get out there and get in the mud and work hard. That's what it is. At least with Charlie Strong, there was no quit in his football team. If you messed up, he sent you home.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't good on your grades, he sent you home. So I'm not going to get in that whole Charlie Strong thing.
That's what it is. But, you know, we went a little tangent with Texas and all that stuff. But
dude, sorry about that, USC.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Dude, I talked about my high school football team. So, let's go to Oregon, Washington State, dude. Like, this was a very close game through the first half, dude. Like, very, very close. Oregon and Washington State were playing each other pretty well. And it wasn't until, like, I think the second quarter, the Ducks in the fourth quarter scored 22 points, And, like, it was. The Ducks looked pretty good. Oh, my God. Did you see that guy slaughter the linebacker in the end zone?
No, I didn't. Oh, my gosh.
Like, it was
I can't believe I missed that.
I think it was Verdell. Yeah, look up CJ Verdell, like fucking just smashing a linebacker in the end zone, dude. It was amazing.
Oh, I wish we could just put it up right now, y'all. I'm excited.
Yeah, Tyler Schlott.
CJ Verdell, Oregon highlights. Nope, not Oregon highlights.
Yep. So Tyler Schlott, 21 completions, 30 attempts, 312 yards, 4 TDs, 1 interception, man. Like, Oregon looks pretty good, but of course, Oregon is also one of those teams with a lot of talent, man. They have a lot going on for them. And not to mention, Oregon kind of sells itself with the uniforms. Like, they have very good uniforms, and they're always different, dude.
Every year they change it. They've definitely, whoever their designer is just like, we're going to sell this. Yeah. I mean,
so they have a huge sponsorship with Nike, man. And like, their uniforms are top notch. I think I don't want to throw no shade, but I do think they have the best uniforms in the country just because like how different and all the variety they have. But whenever you have Nike in your backyard, that just gives you all the uniforms for like practically nothing, dude. Like that's a huge advantage to have, especially when it comes to recruiting, but CJ Verdell went 18 carries, 118 yards, an average of 6.6 yards per carry, and 1 TD, dude. Like, he went off, and like the way he smashed that linebacker, Jesus Christ.
Gosh.
Jalen Redd, 5 receptions, 99 yards, and 0 TDs. Travis Dye, 2 receptions, 87 yards, 47 yards per completion,
Go
and
deep.
2 TDs. Just throw it up, man.
Throw it up. That was it. That's all that's what his touchdowns were. 2 deep balls. That was it for the end zone.
Exactly.
That wins football games, dude. Dye's average was 43.5 a catch. There you go.
Jesus. So I mean, Washington State they tried to hang in there, but clearly not one of those state franchise,
Yeah, but I mean, like, you just lose Mike Leach. I'm sure recruits went with him. Your new coach you're establishing a culture. You're 1-1. You're hanging with the number 11 team in the country. There you go.
It's gonna happen, dude.
It's not bad.
Dude, Jaden Delora, 25 completions, 39 attempts, 321 yards, 2 DDs, no interceptions, man. So not bad by the quarterback.
Not bad.
Deion McIntosh, 16 attempts, 92 yards, 1 TD. So I mean, their players didn't do bad against this Oregon team. It's just, the Oregon team out-talented them for the most part and out-coached them because this is a new coach.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it is. And I mean, Oregon is such a high-powered offense. Even though Chip Kelly left them, they are, or was it Chip Kelly or Chip Kelly? It was one of the Kellys. Chip Kelly was Oregon. Even though he's left them, they never went away from that ideology of we are going to go air. Air. Even though
Yeah, just throwing
Verdell
the
looks
ball.
like he's a rush monster, they still threw it 312 yards.
So they got the players, man. They got
Yeah,
some talent,
that's it.
dude. Like
Okay.
Penei Sewell coming out of Oregon this year. He's probably gonna be a top 5 pick. I hope my Bengals can get him, dude. Honestly, this kid is crazy good. Like so good. But yeah.
Well, what
So
will
let's
y'all
get
have?
on
The number 1 pick?
the Bengals.
Y'all haven't played the Cowboys yet, so y'all might lose that number 1 pick. Or is it Jacksonville?
No, dude.
Doesn't have a
So
win right now, right?
Jets. No, the
The
Jags have
Jets.
2.
Jets.
Jets I
Jets
don't
have
have
2.
any.
Okay, the Jets don't have any. So they're going to go
Yeah.
get Clemson and keep Sam Darnold as a backup. Got it. They're going to go get Trevor Lawrence. Watch. They're just going to have 2 best quarterbacks, first round picks.
Oh yeah. So let's so
Let's
Wisconsin,
see.
Michigan, dude. Wow, dude. Michigan gave up on Harbaugh, dude. They straight up gave up on him, dude.
Well, they're really gonna. This could be Harbaugh's last year.
I think so. Everyone's calling for it. Even, dude. Every Michigan fan I know, like I work with, like get rid of him. I'm like, but he like averages like 9 wins a year. Like what are you talking about? Like they're like, yeah, but he doesn't beat Ohio State, so he's not a good coach. I'm like, well, no one beats Ohio State. Like,
well, that's why he was brought in there. For example, this is exactly what Georgia is going to do to their coach if they can't beat Bama. Even though he's in constant playoffs, even though he has the top recruiting classes, you can't beat Alabama. We're going to get rid of you and find somebody who can.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, I get it. Like that's what's going to happen with Tom Herman. You can't beat Oklahoma in their worst year. We're not going to take you.
Yeah, but Tom Herman loses a lot more than just Oklahoma. He loses to other teams that he shouldn't lose to, and then like beats teams he shouldn't win against. Like he's a hot and cold coach. So, I mean, and that's just like having no stability at coach. That's not it. Whereas Harbaugh does offer stability. He's gonna get you at least 8 wins a year. He's just probably not gonna beat Ohio State, which. I mean, I guess if you want to, if your aspirations are national championship coming out of the Big Ten, you're going to have to beat Ohio State. But
it's plain and simple.
I just don't know who you're going to hire to beat Ohio State because not only are you going against Ryan Day, their head coach is a pretty good coach, but their team is all NFL players.
Yeah. You're looking at a lot of number 1. They would be number 1 picks if it wasn't for Clemson, Alabama, and Georgia. You could just pick a lot of their juniors, their seniors, day one draft, man.
Yeah, dude, like they would be fine. They would all be taken. Like most of their team right now is going to be taken within the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft, and that's insane. Like there's not a whole lot of walk-ons at Ohio State that are playing. Not like Arkansas where half our backfield right now is walk-ons or 2 or 3-star recruits.
That guy you found in the trailer park behind the College of Arkansas. Hey, you're pretty big. Come play with us.
Hey, do you like play football? Yeah, man. Do you want to go put on that Razorback? Yeah, man. Let's go do it.
Teach me the football.
Teach me the football. No, dude, but Wisconsin, Michigan, bro. Like Wisconsin absolutely thrashed Michigan, dude. Like it wasn't ever close.
That's what's mind-blowing. It was running back by committee because they didn't outthrow them. Nobody broke 100 yards in the Wisconsin back. It was just a solid all-around offense. That's what it was. And then nothing big in passing.
Graham Mertz did practically nothing, dude. 12 completions out of 22. 127 yards and 2 TDs. He just tossed it up in the end zone whenever they were there.
Yeah, he had his favorite day. That was it.
Yeah,
Any quarterback's favorite day is when they don't have to win a game.
Yeah. So pretty much, dude. Yeah, you're right. Running back by committee, bro. Like, dude, 4 players above 50 yards and 1 with like 30 yards. One dude just had 1 carry for 30 yards. That's amazing.
Wow.
And I mean,
defense was solid. I mean, they had a lot of tacks. They had only 1 sack. They had 2 picks. But it was like, this is what goes to show you that this is why Jim Harbaugh is on his way out. That's all on Michigan.
They're not playing him. They're not playing for him, dude.
Yeah.
They're not playing for him. And like, dude, he's an offensive-minded coach. How has he not developed a quarterback? Jim Harbaugh, like, dude, apparently made Colin Kaepernick, a thing, and then he also had Alex Smith. Like, how did he not develop a quarterback at Michigan yet when he had like multiple 5-stars like Shea Patterson, who had, all the gifts? He was decent at Ole Miss, not great, but not horrible. And he goes to Michigan and he's trash. I
don't get it. And usually it never works the other way around. Usually when you come from the NFL to college, most coaches are pretty successful because you're bringing in NFL caliber plays. You're bringing in those types of defenses, offenses, Joe Burrow's offensive coordinator. That guy came straight from the NFL. Pete Carroll went to USC, created some of the best football teams we have ever seen. Nick Saban, Miami.
Yeah, well, Nick Saban was also with the Cleveland Browns with Bill Belichick.
Yeah, so there you go. There's your coaching tree right there. I think the only coaches that were successful as like in that realm of like Pete Carroll and Saban are Urban Meyer and Bob Stoops. I mean, really, like multiple championships. But they weren't, to my knowledge, I don't think they ever touched an NFL field.
No.
Or Urban Meyer. Yeah.
So with Michigan also, man, they could not get the run started, man. They had like 5 backs touch the ball. And, not even for 100 yards. They could not run the ball against Wisconsin at all. Like zero.
The quarterback. I'm sorry, I hate to laugh because your backup threw your only throwing touchdown.
Yeah.
And you threw 2 picks. You ended on 98 yards a day. You were 50%, less than 50% completion. I mean,
yeah,
they're
not playing for Harbaugh. Then he needs to go.
They're done.
It's not that he's a bad coach either. It's just they stop believing in him. That's that. Whenever that happens, bro, you gotta get out of there. So let's finish up college, dude, with
Arkansas and Florida.
Arkansas and Florida, dude.
Y'all had him for like half a quarter. It was like a great football game.
For the first half a quarter, bro, we were there. We were in it.
So good. I was like, there we go, Arkansas. Play it, and then it was like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there were a lot of factors going into it, dude. And the fact is, they didn't give up the entire game. They didn't give up. They scored 14 in the fourth quarter. They didn't just lay down. If you knew an Arkansas team for the last 3 years, whenever like at halftime, if they were down by like 7, dude, they would just go like, oh no.
And you want to know the thing? Trask, that's a winning statistic.
Yeah.
23 of 29, 356 yards, 6 touchdowns. And it's just like, how did you lose? Because for most quarterbacks, that's a perfect QB rating right there.
No. Kyle Trask is Florida's.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my apologies.
Yeah. We have Felipe Franks. I mean, he was also very efficient. 15 of 19, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Still a good game. Okay, so Trask, then let me correct myself. You win football games with those stats.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, so my bad, Arkansas Nation.
No, it's not bad. It's not Arkansas had a bad game. It's just they ran up against a team with more talent with their head coach. Arkansas did not have their head coach. Sam Pittman was out this game with COVID. Yep. So you had a defensive coordinator that wasn't
from his home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had a defensive coordinator that's not used to be on the ground, can't see the field to call defenses properly. Mm-hmm. So, or the way he likes to, because he likes to be up in the box. And Barry Odom, if he's a defensive corner, he likes to watch the game from up top.
And I mean, T. Smith for Arkansas, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. It's a good day. It's kind of shocking with some of these numbers how Florida went off like that, because it wasn't like y'all played a bad football game at all, but y'all did.
So with Arkansas, whenever I was watching them, dude, it's not necessarily they're playing bad. It's just they're being out schemed and bad communications. And honestly, Trask could have thrown I think 2 interceptions to us, but we just dropped them.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a young team, where this is a, brand new coaching staff. This is a brand new culture. And to score 35 points, more than Georgia did on Florida, who's a pretty good team. They're probably in the national championship hunt right now, who, probably shouldn't have lost to Texas A&M, but did. That's going to be interesting to see, by the way, who plays in the SEC championship game. I mean, because Texas A&M, they're coming out of the West, but, if they're the best SEC team besides Alabama, do you, snuff them? It's kind of like that,
It's all going to be about views. The NCAA is all about views.
Yeah, but Texas A&M and Florida both have a big viewer base. Like they call A&M the 12th man. But it'll be interesting to see. And Arkansas is a growing team, and I didn't necessarily think that it was a horrid game. It just wasn't like there were so many factors going against Arkansas that there were just never a chance. I called it no, Arkansas is not going to win this game. First of all, they're playing in the swamp without their head coach and a defensive coordinator that's not used to being on the field. It's going to be on the field. It's not it.
Yeah, not your athlete. You would have struggled even with your head coach and him up in the box to win the game, but it might have been a little bit closer. Might have been able to scheme better, but even with all that going forward, Arkansas, they're just not there yet.
No, we're a year or two away from actually being able to compete, dude. Because we need to get recruits up, dude. We need to get more talent on the field. Which I'm not gonna say I love my team now. We have good players. It's just, can we get more high tier athletes? Because clearly talent wins in the NCAA, dude. Coaching matters, but talent, dude, that's where it's at. I would say coaching matters more in the NFL because they're almost all on the same playing field besides the Jets, who decided to recruit off the.
It's just apples to oranges with the talent in the NFL compared to talent in the NCAA. When people are just like, oh, you should have Bama. Bama could beat the New York Jets. No, they couldn't.
No,
come on, guys, no. Please, no. Get that out of your head. It's just it's not there. You're putting on the team the best players all around the country, not just from Bama, but from Ohio State, but from Michigan, Texas, USC, and then you put them all on 32 teams instead of 140, 200 teams.
Yeah,
come on. Please.
Yeah. It's the talent level, the talent gaps are crazy. But dude, I think Kyle Trask is my Heisman candidate. Dude, he's so good. He's Joe Burrow-esque numbers right now. Him and Mac Jones are right on pace with each other, dude.
So it's really Trask is there. Justin Fields is there. Trevor Lawrence, he's been out for 2 games. Even though I think he could be up there, it's just he's not as exciting as Justin Fields and Trask. That's it. It's not to say Trask, a bad thing.
And Mac Jones from Alabama, he's in there, but he's not in the top 2. So the thing is, Justin Fields has played 2 games. Can you really put him in the Heisman hunt?
I mean, I think you got to look at likability too.
I guess so, dude.
A lot of people. You don't really hear about Trask over Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields.
But he has the most TDs in the country right now. Right now, as of this week. Dude, I just don't think that you could – I couldn't with a good conscience give the Heisman to Justin Fields just because we like Justin Fields over this kid who's clearly showing out. Arkansas is one of the most opportunity defenses in the entire CFB, dude, and he tore them apart. Granted, they weren't at their strongest, but still tore them apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right now, I think Kyle Trask has got to be my Heisman, and then, like, maybe Mac Jones or Justin Fields right behind him.
Yeah. And we're at least going to see maybe in the championship, I think you're going to see Alabama versus Florida, most likely. That's what they're going to want to see, even over Texas A&M.
I think so, too. Yeah,
I just think that's the better game. I think that's your two Heisman hopefuls. Just you got to see it. You do. So
Yeah.
and that's going to be the name of the game. If Trask can beat Alabama in the SEC championship, I think you got to give it to him.
I think so,
too. Plain and simple. Because
first
of all, that's a big win too. By the way, that's a real big win
for sure.
I think that's all the. Oh, that's another thing, man. We still have yet to see all the slated games. A lot were canceled this week. So that's another
LSU
thing.
Hasn't played in LSU hasn't played in forever, and they're playing Arkansas this week. So I mean,
LSU still has a football team. I haven't seen them in so long. I thought they just gave up after Joe Burrow's greatest football year.
Yeah, dude. If there's a year for Arkansas to beat LSU, it's this year, man. Because all they got is literally Derek Stingley Jr. and that's it. So, we'll go there. I don't even want to talk about Boston College and Notre Dame. Like, it is what it is.
Guys, Notre Dame, it doesn't count yet. Their win does not count against Clemson, okay? Yes, it counts. I get it. It counts. But you can't – you need to see Notre Dame beat them with Trevor Lawrence.
For sure. Yeah, so let's get into some quick recaps, dude. The Packers beat the living hell out of the 49ers. But, of course, they don't have their quarterback. They don't have they don't have a tight end for the 49ers.
Kittle.
Kittle, yeah, George Kittle.
Yeah, George Kittle. That monster who's making tight ends relevant again. Well, it was actually.
Oh, dude, sorry. That was week 9, dude. Sorry.
You're thinking of my bad.
That was week 9.
Yeah. Well, no, you're actually talking about the bad Packers who almost let the Jaguars beat them.
Yeah.
With Lutton. James or Jill, was it Jill Lutton? I'm kidding. Jake Lutton from, where was he? Oregon State, the Beavers.
Ooh.
They're the Beavers. Ooh.
Look at that.
So, chomp that wood, man.
Yo, what happened to the Titans, dude? Like, I feel like their entire identity got destroyed, dude. The Colts beat the living hell out of the Titans.
I just, sometimes coaches get found out.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL figures out something. These defensive coordinators are so good at catching up and figuring out coaching and their coaching staff. I feel like even though Vrabel is a defensive-minded coach, I believe, defensive-minded coach, I think somebody found out his offensive coordinator. I'm sorry, I can't think of their offensive coordinator from the top of my head, but it's very possible. That could be it.
So I don't know. I still think that they're a team that likes to fight. It's just kind of like right now, I just think that they're just getting out schemed, honestly, man. Because there's no way that the Colts are more talented right now than the Titans, but for some reason they've dropped their last 3. So, what the heck?
I don't know, man. I really don't know because at the beginning, they were 5-0, and now they're 5.
They're 3-4 in their last 4.
They're 3-4 now.
Sorry, they're 1-4 in the last 3.
1-4.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Wow. Yeah, and I think they were one of the unbeatens, and then they lost
to the Steelers.
And then it was just they lost to the Steelers, and I guess they were just like, well, we're gonna start losing games, y'all. So, I don't know, man. I would have picked them as one of my favorites to win it, like you said, man, they're just getting out schemed. They're getting out coached right now.
I think they got figured out, man. So let's go to Texans Browns, dude. 10-7, dude. Browns.
And let's skip it. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
That's all
So,
that you need to say about
yeah, it was a garbage game, dude. And like
just
I thought it was a classy move by Nick Chubb to just go ahead and just go out at the very end of the game. Like just like not score, just like I'm trying to run a timeout. So we're just win this game. So it's just kind of like I get his fantasy owners are like, dude, just score because I'm trying to
just
win.
Score.
But like, I mean,
he probably cost millions in fantasy by that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. DraftKings was not impressed.
Oh, of course not. Oh
No,
man, it's just no, and even then, remember how we were talking? They just probably let Baker Mayfield throw, and that's why they barely won. No, it just seems all around just a unexciting game. Nothing on the Texans defense really. One sack.
I mean, dude. So let's just face it, dude. The entire Browns offense revolves around Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Baker Mayfield went 12 of 20, 132, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They don't believe in him, dude. They don't believe in Baker.
Well, Baker knows, and this is why I think Baker's just playing the game smart. He knows exactly where he belongs. The press box. We're going to see Baker Mayfield as a host for football one of these days. He is trying to follow the Tony Romo route, which, frankly, I don't think he would actually be that bad. I like Baker Mayfield. I like his commercials. His commercials are great.
Oh,
way better than.
Yeah, dude. So I didn't realize the Giants. So in the last 2 games they won against the football team and the Eagles.
They're leading.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Did Nabori just stop watching the Giants altogether?
She just kind of like gave up all hope.
Gave up all hope? Are you sure they're? Oh, I was about to say they're leading. They could go to the playoffs.
Hope now. They're woohoo!
Danny Dimes is back.
Yeah. So, but we can get into a little Giants Eagles, dude. Like, what happened to Carson Wentz?
Yips.
Like, what in the world, dude?
He has never been the same quarterback since he got injured the year they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, against the Rams.
And I don't think it's degrading. I just think he's scared to stay in the pocket. I don't think he trusts his offensive line. Even when they were good, he still got hurt. And then think about it too. He has nobody to throw to. Like, is Rager's your best wide receiver? Both your top of the tier tight ends, Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. I think Dallas Goedert might be back. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. Yeah, Goddard's back, but he's no Ertz. What are you gonna do? Your running back is Miles Sanders. Good. Can't carry a football team, every single week. He's running for his life. That's all it is. He's scared. He doesn't want to get hurt. He wants to prolong his career. That's it, man.
I think so too. I mean, 21 of 37, 208 yards, 0 touchdowns. Bro, like, that ain't it. Miles Sanders, 15 carries, 85 yards, 0 touchdowns. Boston Scott, 3 carries, 63 yards, 1 tutty. Corey Clement got in there, though. Got tutty. Woo! So, I mean, I don't know, man. You're right. They have 0 receivers. Who the hell is Richard Rodgers? He leads the team with 4 receptions, 60 yards. Jalen Reagor, he's decent. So the thing is, people were like all up on Jalen Reagor, like coming up in the draft last year. I'm like, I don't see it, dude. I'm coming out of TCU, like he's decent, but they took him in the first round, bro. Like, I get that he's fast, but like he ain't like he was not developed as a route runner. He wasn't developed as he's a deep threat, but he's not like a precise route runner. He's not a dog. He's okay. Like, he's a decent second round, third round pick because of his speed.
The The Eagles were literally like this. Oh, I wish I had a pin. Here, hold on. Go, keep talking. I'm going to show you exactly what their draft board was like. First round pick.
Yeah, dude. Greg Ward, the Houston quarterback, is their third leading receiver in this game, dude. He had the most receptions in this game, by the way. Like, dude, Travis Fulgham, the unrestricted free agent, 1 reception, 8 yards. Defense did decent. Derek Barnett got a sack. Fletcher Cox got a sack. Javon Hargrave got a half a sack. So, I mean, not like terrible on the defense, but also not good. Let's go.
This was literally the Eagles' draft plan. CD.
Oh.
And then we took him. Rager.
Rager. But, dude, Justin Jefferson was there for him, wasn't he? Jefferson and T. Higgins.
Yes.
Both of them played the national championship game, bro. They're very good. They're very good players.
And they're playing good right now.
Yeah, dude. T. Higgins might get offensive rookie of the week this week.
Yes.
Like, he's very good. Dude, Daniel Jones.
They just didn't have an option.
Daniel Jones is very, very efficient, man. 21 24, 244 yards. And he carried the ball 9 times for 64 yards and a TD. He didn't fall this time. Did not fall this time.
That's actually on the ESPN. No trip. 0 trips.
Yeah, no trip.
He created a new stat.
Bro, they're finally feeding Wayne Gallman too. 18 carries, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not bad. Although that 2.9 yard average is it's killing me. It's killing me.
But still, I mean, you did what you were supposed to do. You got the ball at the 1 or 2 yard line, and you got it in the end zone. I can take a 53-yard low average running back who scores 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That offsets it. Like, it's the same thing. Like, Miles Sanders, and this is just hypothetical, he runs 180 yards, but he scores no touchdowns, and you still lose 27-17. To me, that's not a good running back game.
So New York is leading in the NFC East.
Technically, it only takes 3 wins right now.
No, I mean, no, but the Philadelphia Eagles have a tie.
Do they have a tie? I thought they were. No, because of
3-5-1 because of Bengals.
Oh yeah. I swore they were the ones. Or maybe it was their tie.
Maybe it's because they're in the division. They're ahead.
In the division, that could be very. Yeah, because I'm seeing second in the NFC East too. I swore when I was hearing that game and kind of looking at it, they were saying if the Giants win, they're in the lead.
Yeah.
But what I think it could be is because of, and this is how I think it is. Let's look at this. This is exactly what I mean. They beat the Eagles. They beat Washington. They're beating the Cowboys. They've got to win over Washington and the Eagles. So at least in the division race, maybe not in wins, but at least in the division, they have the stronger record. That's what I think it is. And
do you know who's extremely disappointing to me right now is Evan Ingram, dude. Like he had so much talent coming out of the draft a few years ago, and he has not shown it, man. Like he is for some reason just disappeared in the depth chart. Like if I'm the Giants, I'm strongly considering trading him or just getting off him, man, because like he's not shown up for him. And like need so Sterling Shepard's a number 3 at wide receiver too. Like he's not like a number 1.
Yeah. And so I mean, that's the thing. You're throwing yourself out of some of the best wide receivers right now. If you keep winning, the Giants keep winning. They're winning themselves out of. You don't think so? You think it's that deep?
No. Oh yeah, it's deep. It's deep wide receivers, dude. Because like, dude, honestly, even if the Giants do end up picking, I mean, if they go to the playoffs, I don't know how that works. Like I don't know how. Like, a 5-win team that goes to the playoffs. I don't know where they end up on the draft order because like normally if you go to the playoffs, you get like one of those like, late teen, early 20 picks,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know
how it's
going to go.
Such a weird year.
But dude, like there's Jamar Chase coming out. There's Devontae Smith. There's Jalen Waddle coming out. There's I think a guy coming out of Oklahoma. I think is a big guy too. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of talent, a wide receiver coming out of the draft this year. By the way, we're going to start transitioning to the draft here in a couple weeks. Enjoy that, guys. Just because like it's about that time, dude. With the CFB coming to an end, and then players starting to transition to the combine training, we're gonna have to start talking about the draft. But dude, yeah,
exciting,
so
exciting
Giants
stuff, y'all.
are now 3-7, dude. Philadelphia Eagles 3-5-1, still in first place in the division, but they do not look good
at all. Let's see.
Dude, the Lions pulled out a win against the football team.
Oh wait, am I in the wrong? Oops, sorry. Whoops. Sorry, my thing kicked back. Yes, they barely beat the football team with Alex Smith.
At the very end. Dude, the Lions
I think they're third string, technically. Now, Alex Smith is a third stringer, y'all.
Yeah, so I mean, he was the only quarterback to touch the field today, but dude, he threw the ball a lot though. 38 for 55 attempts, 390 yards with 0 TDs, dude. That doesn't look promising.
Man,
dude, did Terry McLaurin get hurt?
I don't think so.
Bro, he only had one. He only had. Oh no, so that's rushing.
That's rushing, yeah.
Bro, I got scared. I saw 1 for 27. That's not Scary Terry, dude. That's not Scary Terry. No,
see, I thought the same thing. I was like, wait, 1 catch for 27 yards? Where were
like that's not Terry, dude.
Who did Alex Smith throw to then?
Yeah, no, Terry McLaurin, dude, 7 receptions, 95 yards. Bro,
not
he
bad.
is good, dude.
He's good.
Terry McLaurin's really good. I think he's making a case for himself to be in the top 15 in the league when it comes to receivers. I think so, like right now. Like, he's dominant, man.
He just, man, you got to start tanking if you're Washington.
Yeah, you have to, dude. They're 2-7.
As we've mentioned, there's 4 or 5 quarterbacks. Totally worth it. You're gonna shop Dwayne Haskins. Go get a 4th or a 5th round pick where he should have went in the first place. I don't understand the hype.
There's a lot of talent coming out this year when it comes to quarterbacks, man. Like a lot, dude. Kyle Trask is gonna come out. Mac Jones is gonna come out. You have Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. You have Trey Lance coming out of North Dakota State, and then Zach Wilson coming out of I think BYU.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, that dude's tearing it up too, man.
So I mean,
they did like a whole special on him.
Washington can still win a few and get a quarterback in this draft, like a decent quarterback.
Lions need to start looking for the heir apparent. I mean, Stafford, he
ain't it, dude.
Man, I hate to see Matt Stafford go down because I've been such a fan of him for so many years. Like I used to watch him crush my football team. I watched him live, 45-0, and he would rush too and score touchdowns on us. He was a bullet too, at least in high school. And then it was the only time I really watched Georgia until like these past few years. So yeah, I'm a fan of Matt Stafford. Yeah. So it's disappointing to see a guy with all that talent just fade away.
So it looks like DeAndre Swift is taking over the rushing roles, dude. Adrian Peterson only had 4 carries, 21 yards. And what happened to Kerryon Johnson, dude? Kerryon Johnson got absolutely buried on the depth chart. Like, dude, he used to be their number 1 running back.
I don't know. I used him last year in fantasy. Very good. And then he got I believe he got hurt last year.
An injury, but like nothing crazy. Yeah, I had him on my fantasy team too.
And he did really well.
Yeah. So Marvin Jones, 8 receptions, 96 yards, 1 TD. Love you, Marvin. Prior Bengal. DeAndre Swift, 5 receptions, 68 yards, 1 TD. TJ Hawkinson, also a big disappointment when it comes to tight ends. Like, he was supposed to be really, really good coming out and has not shown up.
So do you know I have Ingram and Hawkinson both as
on
my
your
tight
on
ends.
in the leagues.
Just
Not great.
go get me 10 points, one of you. The weaker
Yeah,
team.
Dude. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Schultz has been doing pretty good.
Schultz is solid, man. Like
Yeah, dude.
if you're gonna go with Blake Jarwin because you actually gave him big money for a tight end, you can shop Schultz for a good draft pick now. I think a lot of teams are gonna want Dalton Schultz. Like he's that safety blanket, man. He is like a Jason Witten image, like just straight up. He's a clone.
Bro, you're killing the league right now, dude. You're doing pretty good. I think you're like behind Elkins and LeBron, dude. I'm not behind, but like on the same page.
Yeah, I can't beat Elkins to save my life. That dude goes off. That's the second time that dude's went off on me, and I've like scored under 100. And then
dude, and talk about going off, bro. The Buccaneers went off against the Panthers, dude. And it's not that like I think that the Buccaneers like really killed them. It's just kind of like the Panthers shot themselves in the foot a little bit in the second half. Like they were just allowing like Gronk and missing tackles and stuff like that. Because like in the second half, that's where they scored most of their points, like 12 and 17 in the third and fourth quarter. Like, I mean, and the Panthers fell apart.
Yeah, but the thing is the Panthers they're a a well-built football team. I just think at that point they've got a young coach, really.
Yeah.
And I think Bruce Arians, I think he just outcoached them, and then you still have the GOAT. And
yeah, I mean, dude, but let's face it, dude. Tampa Bay is stacked. They're stacked, dude. Antonio Brown, Gronk, what's the OJ Howard, other tight end. They had Godwin back. They have Mike Evans. Man, who are you gonna block? Who? Like, dude, Tom Brady could play like hell, dude. He could play like bad and still throw for 300 yards just because of the amount of talent around him, dude.
And then when you look at R. Jones, 192, touchdown.
Dude, a 98-yard run went off on it. Like, just dude, really good running. Man. Like, dude, you have Ronald Jones, who's turning out of USC, turned out to be a really good player, and then you have what's his name, Leonard Fournette as his backup. Think about that, dude. You have two first round running backs in the stable, ready to go.
And Leonard Fournette knows what he is now. He knows he's going to be that guy that's going to sit back. He knows that he can't go a whole season without getting injured. Don't let me get into Leonard Fournette. That gets into the whole, like, there should be some players that should immediately, after 1 year, be allowed to go to the NFL. And Leonard Fournette is at the top of my list. As the guy, he is ready. 1 year, ready. Let him go.
Yeah.
Very rare, though, in football for a freshman.
I think that like we would see like how it is in basketball now. I think it would just drop off the actual like competitiveness of football. Like, because if you have like one star be really good for 1 year, and then all of a sudden like you have to go search for another one. I think it just makes for bad football, and not to mention, dude, like college, because like you don't know, like you might just break your leg in your first year in the NFL, and you can't fall back on anything, So it's just, I mean, no. I mean, not that these guys are like super like, they're gonna go out and like, go to NASA or something like that. Besides maybe Dobbs from the Steelers, who's a spatial engineer. But
exactly,
like, I don't know, man. So I think the college gives them the foundation for the NFL a little bit, like a little more backbone. Because imagine being 18 years old and being given like $34 million,
Well, we already know how dumb they are anyway when they first get it. Some of these guys are broke before the end of the season after they make $14 million. And they're like, what did you do? Well, I had to buy a Rolls Royce. I always wanted that. And then I got my mom a house and my dad a house, two, each of them.
Yeah, and then my boys needed chains and stuff.
My boys needed chains.
Yeah, it happens all the time. It's also a sad thing. That's why I love
really
Chad.
is.
That's why I love Chad Ochocinco. He's like, dude, I don't spend money on shit. It's like, well, I got money. I know it. I let my endorsements pay me.
That's what they that they had this talk. It's Chad Johnson and it's Brandon Marshall, and I
Yes,
think there's a few
I am
other big
athlete,
names.
yeah.
I am athlete, and they make up a really good point about Cam Newton. I was watching, and they said, "Does he want the money?" And Chad Johnson was like, "He doesn't want the money. He made over $100 million already. He's making plenty of money in endorsements. He wants a Super Bowl. He wants that win. That's why he went to New England over other teams and took that hit." So I agree. Some players do. They don't just want to be good now. They want to be remembered. We're going to talk about Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Even though Aaron Rodgers has only won one Super Bowl, Russell Wilson won Super Bowl. What we're seeing, we may never see again from players like them. It's just yeah.
While we're on Cam Newton, dude, let's go to the Ravens Patriots because, dude, I think that this literally showed us Lamar Jackson. Like they've found him out, dude. They know that to as soon as Lamar pulls the ball, rush those edges because he bounces it outside constantly. Like, dude, if you watched, because I literally watched the highlights before this thing, dude, you just watched. They're like, oh, read option, all right, the edge, go to the edge immediately, dude, without even reading the play, dude. You just see DBs collapse the edge because they know that Lamar is just gonna pull the ball and run to the outside. And
but even then, man, it's not like he had a bad pass day. I mean, yeah, he threw a pick, but he 24-34, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's not he was terrible by any means.
He was thrown from behind the entire game, though, dude. Like, it's not to say bad, but he was just, dude. If you watch the game, dude, it wasn't pretty. Like, it wasn't like he was out there, doing crazy stuff. He was trying to run the ball and they were just stopping him. Like, stats are not everything. There's context to the stats. Yeah. But I think the NFL is catching up to Lamar Jackson, man, like at an expedient rate.
Yeah, he's gonna need to develop a little bit more, and I think he can. I'm a believer in Lamar Jackson. I've seen him make the throws everybody says he can't make. He can't put an accurate deep ball. He can't be a pocket present quarterback because he's so used to running the football. Those are things that if you are who you think you are and what type of player you are, you can learn that. He's got a young career. And guys, remember, this is this is year 2, right?
3.
Year 3, still 3 years.
Yeah, he's still young, dude. But you learn. So you don't learn arm talent. You know what I'm saying? Not that saying he can't like throw the ball. It's just kind of like when you watch like how Joe Burrow throws the ball, like where he lobs it over, or he throws it right over a linebacker's head. You don't see that from Lamar. You see like little flicks underneath, like this, that, or he's just straight out like putting it up. You don't see like beautiful touch balls. I didn't mean that like that, but you don't see you don't see touch passes like crazy good from Lamar. Like you just don't see that kind of arm from him. So I mean, I just don't know if like you can learn that aspect. I mean, maybe that's what I'm saying, but like Josh Allen didn't learn, he learned how to taper back, not necessarily how to push forward on a touch pass. You know what I'm saying? He learned how to take off a ball.
Yeah, Josh Allen could rip it with the best of them. He probably got the biggest arm in the NFL.
Right.
Like probably next to Pat Mahomes and maybe even bigger than Pat Mahomes.
Like maybe Lamar just does need that extra time to actually, learn. I just don't know if he can learn how to do that with, I don't know. Maybe he needs to go to a fundamental cap.
Well, you know what he needs to learn? He needs to learn the Dak dance.
Ooh.
He learns the Dak dance. I think he can throw a football really well.
All on the hips.
I'm not
gonna lie, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I would take Dak Prescott over Lamar Jackson right now.
I think a
Like,
lot of
just
people
from what I'm
would.
seeing.
I think a lot of people would take Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott was, I think where he was at the time, it showed, he was a Mississippi State quarterback. He threw it up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of accurate, but he's shown he's a fully capable starter. Anybody who doesn't think Dak Prescott is an NFL starting quarterback, get out of here. Get out of here. He's a starting quarterback. Quit being a hater.
I think he's really, really good. But also I think that he needs to be, like we talked about with the contracts, he needs to be reasonable. I don't think he's Pat Mahomes. I don't think he's Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Deshaun Watson needs to be up there either, honestly. Like, I think Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott are in the same area. I don't think, bro, you can't.
I'd take Deshaun Watson over Dak Prescott.
I would too, but I'm not paying him. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't pay Deshaun Watson that much money either.
Well, but also you got to look at it. Well, I mean, he hasn't really necessarily won to a Super Bowl, but Deshaun Watson, since his rookie year? Not this year, but playoff, competitive, real good football teams. I mean, he had, how much of it was the DeAndre Hopkins without an offensive line, by the way. Didn't have one his entire first, 4 years in the NFL, 3-4 years in the NFL. So quarterbacks get paid too much. That's just plain and simple.
I would agree to that. Of course,
10-yard passes, 80-yard run from a receiver.
Yeah, you
get the
get
10-yard guy.
You get paid market value, but eventually people are gonna have to get smart. Like, oh, dude, we're paying quarterbacks too much. We need to pay other players.
Or the league goes to they go to MLB or NBA style contracts. They actually tell the owners, hey, you might actually make more money if you pay the players. But also
the thing is with that, dude, it's like
different
if you can just pay if you can just straight up pay players however much, dude, teams like Cincinnati, teams like I don't know, Jacksonville, teams like the small teams would never win a Super Bowl.
You mean the Dallas Cowboys might win 5 more Super Bowls? Man, dang it. I would really hate that, Rory.
What do you think Jerry Jones would pay for a Super Bowl right now?
Actually, he has quoted this. I was literally listening on the radio when he said this. He said, I will give you a blank check and you can write what you want on what I could give you to win a Super Bowl right now. Exactly. That's what he said.
That's what happens whenever you go to a straight, just open capped league, dude. Yeah. Like the teams that can afford it, the New York teams, the San Francisco teams, the California teams, maybe Seattle. Like you'd get basically what you'd have in America right now. Like, you'd have all the big tech companies constantly, getting more and more and more, and you'd have the middle of the country with less population, less of that. You'd have oh, dude, well, I'm never gonna see a Super Bowl ever unless a miracle happens, and I just so happen to draft a player for those first 4 years in there. Just this culmination of players that I can afford to keep on, just happen to be the really really great. So that's one of the great things about the league right now, and the hard cap is it makes it so even. And other players get a little messed up because the quarterbacks get paid so much, but that's one of the problems.
I mean, I get it. I understand, but it's just it creates that whole and I believe this kind of really started with Jimmy Garoppolo. You gave someone who had improved it a lot of money, and now look at him. There's so much talk about them trading him. I was like, then why give him $27 a year? And you bumped it up. People were even hesitant. I remember talking with a lot of people in Dallas. They were like, Dak Prescott isn't a $27 million quarterback. I was like, pay him now. Pay him now.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get on to
let's get off the contract stuff.
Dude, Dolphins, Chargers. We'll save the contract talk for the draft and the free agency stuff.
The offseason, exactly.
Yeah, so dude, Dolphins, Chargers, bro. Right, dude.
Gosh.
Dude, Tua looks good. Like he's good, bro. It does the heart proud, just watching Islanders go out there and just tear it up.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, it's just Islanders are like, and I remember watching a documentary. They said, especially Samoans, they're your perfect built football player. That's what they are. They could play anywhere. They could play quarterback. They could play lineman, defense, just everything. And so it's nice to see players who are just a culture and people who are built to play this game finally in the NFL.
So
like that to me, that's just exciting.
Here's a crazy stat for you, dude. If you're born as a Samoan or Islander, dude, you have I think 70% chance based off of population rates to get into the NFL. Like we're the most overrepresented culture in the NFL by far.
That's crazy.
In that, dude, it's insane, dude. Almost every team has 2 or 3 Islanders on their team. Dude. And you know how many Islanders there are in the world? Probably less than 30 million. Maybe 40 million.
Yeah, exactly. Just
dude, we're a drop in the bucket, but we're so overrepresented in the NFL. It's insane, dude.
Which is insane with that statistic, because when you think of overrepresentation, you're just like, oh, there's too many white players, there's too many black players, and then you come with that statistic and you're like, oh man, you really gotta think about it. Yeah, that's insane, man.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. Like how many, dude? I swear. Look at any dude right now on the Cowboys, dude. You guys have 2 or 3. Like Bradley and you have a linebacker, and you have someone else, dude. I think. No, Suafilo's on the Bengals right now.
Yeah, but he was an Islander. Yep.
Yeah, dude. On the Bengals right now, there's 4 of them. Just cause it's insane. On a 53-man roster, there's 4 of them are Islanders, and there's like I said, 40 million Islanders in the world, maybe. And that's overrepresented. Maybe how much?
Yeah, exactly. That's insane. So I mean, how do you hate Tua?
Dude, he's so likable.
It's just.
But to be honest, all the rookie quarterbacks this year are pretty likable, dude. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert's a super likable guy. He's just I'm from Oregon. I got a big arm.
I could have went way higher than I did, but I wanted to play football with my brother.
That's so wholesome.
How do you hate Justin Herbert? You're like, yeah, you may have ruined your career, but no, you didn't.
Not ruined. He was still taking 5.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. But
he's on the West Coast, so let's go.
So on the West Coast, let's go.
Tua 15 for 25, 169, 2 touchdowns. So not the greatest day, but pretty I guess effective whenever needed to be.
It was just an all around good football game. There were interceptions, there were sacks, there were fumbles. It's just all over the place, man. Just good football, man. Jay Herbert, 187, 9 yards less, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, but he ran one in, so he did 3 touchdowns. So
that's not bad. And it shows Tua did spread it around pretty well too. He definitely spread the ball around to other players. Rushing, dude, Sullivan Ahmed, 21 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. I haven't even heard about this guy.
No, me neither. They and Miami rushers, they just put somebody out there and let them go.
No kidding, dude. I've noticed that Miami is going very Patriots, dude. Clearly it's because their head coach is from the Patriots, but I've noticed that dude, they just kind of next man up it a lot.
Which if you've got the roster, if you got the talent, and you're playing good football, why not? You're a young team. You're a young coach. Well, not a young coach, but for a head coach. Why not next man up? A lot of people were saying this is a bad idea. What is his name? Flores, right? Mike Flores, I believe.
No, not Mike Flores.
No, not Mike Flores. My bad.
You're right about the Flores part.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Anyway, head coach. He was a DC, I believe, as well. And Miami's the best defense in the NFL right now. second best.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Miami
dude,
really turned it around.
They're
crazy.
6-3 right now, man.
Gosh,
They're pretty good. 6-3.
The Chargers, to me, are that one team that's better than their record.
Yeah, dude, they kind of find ways to lose games, huh?
Yeah, they do. They do. It's like, hopefully Justin Herbert doesn't have that sophomore slump. I don't want him to, because I want him to do good. And again, I got to bring it up. Not only the rookie quarterbacks, but the rookie wide receivers. There's rookie DBs. There's rookie running backs. I mean, we were worried.
Looking good, man.
I mean, future's bright. And, you were worried when you started seeing Peyton Manning leave and Tom Brady, which seems ageless. Who's going to replace these guys? Well, here you go, guys. Here you go, everyone.
Out there's a whole new group of players coming out. Pretty good. Look, Danny
might be better.
Yeah, and Danny Dimes is leading the pack,
Danny freaking Dimes. Because he knows he knows he might not have a starting job next year.
Yeah, dude. So let's go on to Seahawks Rams, bro. Like, dude, the Rams came out and played, and Russell Wilson did not look like he was
No, he didn't.
He didn't look like he was, cooking. Chef was having an off day. Russell Wilson, 22, 37, 248 yards, and 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns.
They locked up the wide receivers, man.
Oh, yeah. Jalen Ramsey locked up DK Metcalf.
Which, anger. I need Metcalf to do good. Come on, man.
Mad. So, dude. So,
gosh.
I said DK Metcalf. 2 receptions, 28 yards. But, dude, that's what he's going to struggle with. Jalen Ramsey's a big corner, but it can move like a small corner. The thing is, Jalen Ramsey's not weak either. He'll go up and he'll hit you. So, DK Metcalf is known for just tearing apart smaller cornerbacks, And, he doesn't have a whole lot of lateral movement. That's what his biggest take was, and it was in the combine, this guy cannot move sideways very well at all. His route running is not fantastic. He is a straight up crossing route, go route, or because he doesn't do comebacks that well either.
So he's basically a fast Des Bryant, really.
Yes. Dude, so basically he's a ultra fast tight end. That's what he is as a wide receiver. I love it. He can go up there and moss people for sure. He's very dominant in what he does.
2% body fat, y'all.
Yeah, but when he meets Jalen Ramsey and who could be at the end of his career if he gets his stuff together, an all-time CB, considered up in that thing, he's not going to have the games that he usually has against lesser opponents.
Don't you think he already kind of is? Jalen Ramsey? He's one of those all-time greats?
No,
not yet.
Not yet. No, I don't consider him an all-time great because he, what's he done? He's played really good, but I'm not going to put him with Dion. I'm not going to put him with Champ Bailey. I'm not going to mention him in that. He could be. He could be for sure. Yeah. He has all the ability. He has, at the end of the career, he'll probably have the stats, but right now,
it's just hard when he's. To me, it's with CBs, I can't really put one close to him right now in the NFL. He's clearly, to me, the best CB. Jalen Ramsey is. Unless you're thinking of someone else, but
he's just Stephon Gilmore. He won a Defensive Player of the Year last year.
But even then, he's not. Is he even having a great season? I know we get this.
It wasn't bad. But yet again, Stephon Gilmore is not the same type of receiver. DK Metcalf had a good game on Stephon, but they're not the same receiver. I'm telling you, matchup wise, Jalen Ramsey is a much better matchup against DK Metcalf than Stephon Gilmore is. Whereas Stephon Gilmore is way better. He'd probably be way better against Antonio Brown or
So
a smaller.
if you're the Rams,
receiver.
and you're going into that NFC Championship, you want to see the Seahawks, or no?
Yeah.
You want to see the Seahawks.
For sure, because you know, like that your DBs can handle it, and not to mention, I think interception wise, they're one of their players leads the league in interceptions, dude. Hold on one second.
Let me see here.
I am too. Oh, sorry, this is Seahawks. Rams.
D. Williams.
Yeah,
Darius Williams.
Darius Williams, dude. He leads the NFL in interceptions. So I mean, I think that if you're the Rams, you want to see the Seahawks because you know that your players play well against them. You know, they have Ja'Kai Polite on there. I don't know that. But yeah, like the Rams, Seahawks, very good game, very good teams. And the NFC West, dude, is locked up with Arizona, the Rams, and Seahawks all at 6-3. So that's pretty crazy. 49ers are still there too, with like no quarterback and a tight end. So, dude, very rough division to be in.
And the thing is that's what's gonna suck about that the NFC West right now is that Danny Dimes is gonna get his playoff over one of those teams, and it's just like, that's crazy. I don't want to get into that last NFC West team. Well, no. We have two more NFC West teams, right? Because we have Saints, Rams, Cardinals. Wait, am I saying that right?
Oh, dude, Cardinals, Bills. I almost forgot about that. Dude, Cardinals, Bills, Broncos.
That's almost the one I want to talk about at the end, because that one had me like putting my hands up. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? How are you not? How is Kyler Murray not your MVP this year now?
He's getting there, man. He's definitely getting there, man. But the thing is, Josh Allen outplayed him for most of that game.
But it only takes one deep ball.
But dude, that's not on Josh Allen. Right?
Right.
That's not on Josh Allen. He doesn't play defense. And that was a miracle. That was a miracle play. Like, dude, like, I mean, the thing is,
bro. Oh my!
The thing about it is, like, I mean, the thing is, everyone's like, oh, Kyler Murray, man, look at that play. I'm like, but if you look at the actual game, dude, Josh Allen,
he didn't play well.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, like they were not like fantastic, bro. Josh Allen outplayed Kyler Murray from like literally 59 minutes and 59 seconds of that game. And, you know, a Hail Mary, exactly what it is. And between three defenders and DeAndre Hopkins said, I'm better than all y'all, and came down with a ball. Like,
I am the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Here I go.
He legitimized that. Like, dude, that was Hall of Fame level. Like, for sure, DeAndre Hopkins is probably going to be there for sure.
Oh, I mean, no doubt with that. And it would be a travesty to not see a guy who's done all those years is clearly a consistent
top three receiver for like since he's been in the league.
Yep. Can't blame him. And I mean, and I don't want to say, yes, Josh Allen was the better quarterback that day. That's nothing on Kyler Murray, though. Kyler Murray, he didn't have his best game. He still had a game. He was 22-32, 245. He did throw a pick. He ran 60 yards and 2 touchdowns in too. And I mean, on some of those plays, do you see? Is he faster than Lamar Jackson?
He's definitely shiftier.
Gosh, you're every single time he's running, you're worried he's about to get blasted, but they can't keep up with him.
Yeah,
the defense can't keep up with him.
I'm not gonna lie, but when they do hit him, dude, I'm like terrified for him.
I'm just like, don't do it.
He's a very small guy.
Yeah, he's my size, 5'9", 5'10", like
something like that. Yeah, dude.
Way more muscular than me, guys. Let's just be honest.
So let's get into our last game, dude. Yeah, that was a hell of a play by DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray. But yet again,
that game is the type of game you want to see in the Super Bowl. You want to see in the championship, just when it comes all down to it at the end.
I'd love to see that in the playoffs, just in general. Which, you know, we'll get into that on Sunday. But yeah, dude, let's get into quick Broncos Raiders real fast, dude. The Raiders are good. they're very, very good. Josh Jacobs is good. Derek Carr is playing very, very good.
Enough to be competitive.
16 for 25, 154 yards. Clearly, they're Baker Mayfielding him. But,
Yes.
Josh Jacobs, 21 carries, 21 carries, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devontae Booker, who I always thought was going to be a good running back coming out, 16 carries, 81 yards, and a TD. You know what? The Raiders have put a lot into their offensive line, though, like for real. Like they've, that's the reason why they're able to do what they're doing.
Well, they're going old school football. They're the one team, they are straight up going old school football. Quarterback barely throws it enough to get first downs, and then we're going to let our all-world running backs and a rookie go slam it in there. And if we really need to throw the football, we're going to do it. And we have the receivers to do it.
So, honestly, bro, I think that this team is going to be very, very scary next year. Like, dude, I love Bryan Edwards coming out. Nelson Aguilar is not necessarily consistent, but a big play waiting to happen. Zay Jones is a very consistent wide receiver. Hunter Renfrow is a great slot. Ruggs, whenever he develops more into an NFL wide receiver, because right now he's a deep threat.
Yeah, he's a 2 or 3 year development. We'll see Ruggs come out real strong.
Needs to work on his route running, but he has the ability. He's a 4.27 guy. Very good. Dude, like they're very good. Defensively, they're very good.
And they were killed when they got rid of Khalil Mack, and they've gotten better without him.
Yep.
And their defense really hasn't dropped off at all.
It's gotten better.
Yeah,
it's gotten better. And I think in that trade, like everyone kind of won. The Bears got Khalil Mack, and they already had all the pieces around him, and then the Raiders get the 2 first-round picks, and that helps them build with. I believe Abrams was one of their first-round picks, and then I didn't like the what's his name, the Cleveland Farrell, the top 4 pick wasted. But it is what it is. The Raiders are going to be a very, very good team next year. Let's go to Bengals Steelers. Bengals lost. All right, bye.
Yep, bye. Steelers are good. Let's just say that
the Steelers are a very well run team. Their defense was really good. Joe Burrow did not have the game that he needed to have in order to win, and it was mostly Joe Burrow. It wasn't the offensive line held up pretty well against the Steelers.
Well, the Steelers' defense is kind of starting to show – they're starting to slow up. They weren't really effective against the Dallas Cowboys the previous week. And I'm not even going to try to get in that because I've got an entire rant on that game. But, yeah, they've kind of slowed up. Maybe they're just being precautious and just trying to really just weather the season because they know they've got every chance to beat the Ravens, the Chiefs, and go to a Super Bowl. The Bills, they've got it all.
3. So I mean, they got 4 sacks, but it wasn't necessarily because clearly the offensive line was kind of, but it's more or less Joe Burrow holding the ball, being a rookie, all that stuff, trying to make a play. It's gonna happen. Clearly, the Bengals are not going to challenge this year, which I didn't expect them to. I wanted them to be competitive, and not necessarily like I didn't expect them like, yeah, we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. Like that was never a thing that I thought.
Joe Burrow,
woohoo, he's the savior, which I still do think though. I love Joe Burrow, but clearly
how can you hate him?
We're a year or 2 away.
Yeah, you just got to get some more solid. I think your defense is solid. It's really you got to give them somebody to throw to.
We need offensive and defensive line, dude. Like bad. For the Bengals.
I think Boyd's out after this year. I think, right? Is it Boyd? Is it Boyd or Ross?
AJ. Ross is out for sure.
Ross is out. Ross is out because I got them 2 mixed up. One of your receivers has been kind of letting it known I want to leave.
Yeah, that's Ross. Yeah, no, Boyd. We got Boyd signed for another 2 years, 2 or 3 years, I think.
Okay.
No, Vikings, Bears, dude.
No more Jefferson. Trubisky's back.
Trash Bisky. Woohoo. No, dude, Justin Jefferson is the real deal, man. Justin Jefferson is so good, bro. Like he's coming out, dude. They're like, is he just a slot receiver? Is he just this? Is just that? And I think he's proven no. Like I could have played every position at LSU, but they just needed me at slot because we have Jamar Chase and everyone else that was there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and everyone. But Justin Jefferson is going to be the real deal, man. Like for sure. Like, I think he's, probably the best wide receiver coming out of this rookie class. I mean, like I think a close second's probably CeeDee Lamb and then T. Higgins.
And it's just because he has a really Kirk Cousins again. We still don't know what Kirk Cousins you're gonna get. Are you gonna get the really good Kirk Cousins? Are you gonna get the really bad Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins shown he can do it all. He can win them just as well as he can lose them. So, yeah, man, Justin Jefferson, tip my hat because I was not really high on him at all. I didn't think he was gonna, and not that I wasn't high on him. It was more about I didn't think he was going to come on like he did. And that's another thing. I didn't think a lot of these rookie wide receivers were going to just be immediate.
So I would have loved
impact.
I would have loved seeing Justin Jefferson come to the Bengals in the second round, just because Joe Burrow. Like if you're gonna get him a receiver, get him the one that he's used to throwing to, who he has the most rapport with. Not that I don't love T. Higgins. I love T. Higgins. He's a great player. But, I think that coming out of LSU for Joe's development, I think him having Justin Jefferson to get in there and, already know what to do and, how he likes to the ball to come his way, kind of, there's a better rapport just all around. But yeah, I mean, Jefferson's cooking.
He's going to cook. It's really surprising because – a few years ago, we were always talking about how wide receivers, they're going to take 2, 3, maybe even 4 years to really kind of get it. Not this draft class, because
I think that
it's crazy seeing these wide receivers come out and immediately be the number one. Because right now, even in Dallas, CeeDee Lamb's number one to me. He's better than Amari. He's better than Gallup. It's clear. Like it is.
Yep.
Clear cut, and you just need to build the scheme around them. Justin Jefferson, who's Adam Thielen anymore? Like, Adam Thielen, he's really good, but Justin Jefferson is starting to show that he's actually a true number one of this team.
Number one, yeah.
Yeah.
So dude, I'm not gonna lie, T. Higgins is getting to be that for the Bengals also. Like for the era around him, dude. Like, is this guy our number one now? Like, no, I love Tyler Boyd. But Tyler Boyd's a slot receiver. He's a straight up slot. That's the only place he really wins or dominates. But T. Higgins, he's a true like X or Y dude. He can play either one extremely well. And AJ Green's probably going to be out of a job here pretty soon.
AJ Green is going to start to become that journeyman. He's going to start getting those year contracts. Hey, we'll give you $5-6 million. We just need you for the end zone. Like we're
not in the end zone, dude. He's not getting in the end zone, bro. He has
not even in the end zone.
Yeah,
it's just so disappointing to see declines like that in really good players. It's just and it just feels like some you can slowly see it. It's like, oh man, here it comes, and then some it feels like a snap. Like it just what? When did you become bad? Like you're AJ Green. Like and then
I mean it's injury and age, dude. It's what's gonna happen. But dude,
another shout out Vikings, Dalvin Cook, showing why he's the best running back in the NFL right now.
Also showing it, dude.
Yeah, especially against that Bears defense, 96 yards,
bro, 30 carries.
Yeah, he was busy, man. He was busy. They definitely were like, we are not going to get into a shootout with these Bears. We're going to tire their defense out, and then we're gonna throw on them.
Yeah.
Oh man, who else?
Roquan Smith had a sack, but no one else for the Bears. Yeah, I mean, dude, the Bears they're slowly becoming that team that we all thought they were. Just not an okay team, like a really good defensive team, but not really much else. I think that covers everything, right, dude?
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Tune in tomorrow for the rematch of the Cardinals and the Seahawks. I'm going for
Ooh.
Cardinals again.
Oh, well, dude, I kind of want the Seahawks to win just because my boy Alex Collins just got re-signed by them, the Arkansas running back that they initially drafted. But I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a really, really fun game.
It'll be a good Thursday night game, which usually are pretty bad. But other than that, man, I don't think I got anything. The Dallas Cowboys did not lose against the bye, so
that's great.
Yep.
Won against the bye.
We won against the bye, y'all. Yay!
Yep. All right. So, hey guys, I know if you watch this or you're going to watch this in the future, you watch it all the way through. I appreciate you doing that. I know this is like an hour and 40 minutes of talking football, but we just really wanted to catch up on what was happening. We haven't got to produce anything in the last 2 weeks, so good talk was really needed. And well, I appreciate you watching all that stuff. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go like my YouTube channel. You can find me on Twitter at roar_64. And, I appreciate you watching. It all helps out. And let's go football. Let's go football.
Hug 'em, chug 'em.
Hug 'em, chug 'em. Football. Peace.
Oh.